Very recently, I was faced with a very cold and harsh reality in my life. I found myself in a place where I felt like every day I was hitting a brick wall. And the thing about it is that with each day, I felt like I would hit that wall sooner and earlier in that day. I mean, I had the will and the desire to go out and try to be my best self, to try to perform to the best of my ability for my family and for my children and for my wife and for my business and ministry and everything else that was in demand of me. But I felt like with all the demands that was on my life, I did not have enough to keep up with them. And so that forced me to go into a place of reevaluation. I had to reevaluate my life. And in that season, I found a word that stood out to me, very interesting word. And that word is investment. And the word investment means to the putting out of something in order to gain a profit. Now, as much as we know about investment, there is one rule that's most important. You will never be able to invest in something unless you have something to invest with. And that was my problem. Every day I would get up and I would think about all my demands and all the things that I had to do in that day and all the things I want to achieve. And I would go out and try to invest in my day without first investing in myself. And I kept finding myself to be depleted. How many of us have that problem in life? How many of us get up and the first thing we're thinking about is our children, and we think about our jobs, and we think about our business, and we think about all the things that we have to do, all the things that we have to accomplish in a day, and we just set out to go and try to conquer the world and invest in the world without first investing in ourselves. You see, a person who starts their day without first investing in themselves is like a swimmer who dives in a pool without first taking the breath. You have just enough to get you going, but in the time when your body needs you the most, you find yourself out of breath. How many of you are like that? How many of you are thinking about your day right now and you thinking about what did I do this morning to first invest in me before I can invest in everything else that I need to invest in? You know, it's like a person who tries to withdraw money from an account that they never deposited money into, and it doesn't result in anything but overdraft fees. Well, let me tell you, it's not only in the financial world where you can overspend and it can result in fees. Many of us, we can overspend in our minds and it results in the fee, what we call a nervous breakdown. Many of us can overspend in our bodies and it results in the fee, what we call signs of aging. You see, there's different ways that you can overspend in your life if you don't first invest in yourself. Now, my question to you is, what does your morning routine look like? How do you invest in yourself? As I was contemplating on this, I began thinking about the life of Jesus. I feel like he grabbed hold of this concept very early in his life and ministry. His ministry only lasted 3 years, yet his impact lasts for a lifetime. But then I started to look at his life and I saw that he would invest in himself. In fact, in the book of Mark chapter 1, in the 35th verse, it says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus arose and went to a solitary place to pray. And you know what he was doing? He was investing in himself. Perhaps he knew that when day came, people would come looking for him. People would come and looking for him because they were in need of what he carried, the gift he carried. They were in need of miracles. They were in need of healing. They were in need of provision or word from the Lord. And so Jesus would stop and go and invest in himself, even if it meant waking up before the rest of the world, just so that he can invest in himself, so that he can invest in people. So I'm going to leave you with this. There's another definition for the word investment that I found. And it means to besiege something. The word besiege means it's actually a military term. It means to surround a city with armed forces in order to capture it or to force it to surrender. I'm here to tell you that if you learn how to invest in yourself first, you will learn how to besiege every opportunity you face that day. No longer will you find opportunities and meet those opportunities feeling completely depleted and wiped out. But now you're in a position to conquer those opportunities that you're faced with. Not just opportunities, but opposition as well. If there's opposition that you're faced with because you invested in yourself early in the day before you stepped out of your home, you're now equipped to have that critical thinking skills, to have the stamina, to be able to conquer everything that you're faced with. You see, it is your right to walk in your purpose. It is your right to achieve those dreams that you have. I wish that everything that you set out that you conquer. I pray that everything your hands touch is blessed, but you have to first position yourself in order to take hold of what God has for you. And you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to invest in your life or in the lives of the people you love unless you first learn how to invest in yourself. What are you doing every day to invest in yourself? How are you beginning your day? I know I keep asking you that question, but I want you to think about it, because after this moment, after this day, you're going to think differently about how you step out of your house. You're going to equip yourself so that you can go out and be like Jesus and be able to meet the needs of that's placed on you and to make an impact this world can never erase. But remember, you can't invest in anything unless you first invest in yourself.